We back. Me and Jelani on this thing. The closers watching the closing minutes to this Warriors and Rockets game. The Warriors, no Jimmy Butler.
No Jimmy buckets.
Chris Perry predictions. I think that's what he do, man. He go throw predictions out and then not show up to the show because
Man.
when he wrong. Because it's looking like Steph Curry got something to say about that.
Yeah, it's anybody's game, man. Shout out to the Warriors holding it down without Jimmy Butler. I was for certain he was gonna play today. Because he's a no pun intended, but a warrior, right? Like, like he's not gonna miss this game. It's Jimmy Buckets. But that's how that fall a few days ago really impacted him, man. Like I just knew he was gonna play. But it's still anybody's game. Um, my prediction was the Warriors, if Jimmy Butler played, he didn't play, they could still win. So let's see what happens.
Nah, man, I'll tell you that Chase Center energy, man, the energy the Bay Area crowd give them, it's real. I thought they would. I think game ain't over. It's a 2-point game, but yeah, 2-point game still. But I think the Warriors are going to pull this out. I had them pulling this out before the game started. I thought they would get this win just off the energy of the crowd and stuff. But like you said, we're going to see the Houston Rockets. This is anybody's game. And, quick, I already got a funny story. So like I'm ahead of you. Like,
Yeah.
what's the time? What's the time on your screen?
6:01.
Okay, we right there. I'm at 6. Hold on, 6:01. You ahead? Oh,
I'm ahead of you today.
you actually ahead of me because
Maybe it's because it's not in, you're not on League Pass, huh?
no, I am. So what happened? That's what goes to the story. So I was watching the Denver Clippers game, right?
Yeah.
I was actually like live tweeting. I was tweeting, a little bit like while the game was going on, and Kawhi had went on a crazy run, and tweeted. I was like, "This run is 100% all because of the greatness of Kawhi Leonard," something like that, or whatever. And then I started getting responses from people. It was like, "Yeah, but those last two shots he forced at the end cost him the game." And I'm like, hold up. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I forgot that I'm on League Pass and I rewinded it back a few minutes because I was looking at breaking down the play. So I was actually like 5 minutes behind. Tweeting.
Yeah.
Tweeting
so
like
you talking about when he missed those 2 threes?
Yeah. I'm like, what is he talking about? Then I see something about Aaron Gordon made a fantastic play, and I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? So yeah, so I'm I think I'm behind still right now, this Warriors right. There's 5:09 on my clock. It's in June at the free throw.
When he shot those 2 threes, I was at the barbershop. I literally said it out loud. I said, why is he shooting a three? His mid-range game is impeccable, almost unstoppable.
Right.
And it didn't need a three.
Yeah, that was uncharacteristic for him too.
Yeah, but shout out to Aaron Gordon for making the play.
Man.
That might cost the Clippers the entire series. Just that one play.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing about like basketball and just sports in general, whatever. Like, the game is all about inches and seconds. Like a millisecond could change so much. And that one split 0.3 seconds or whatever of just playing hard, playing basketball is what won that game. And it, like you said, it could win the series and change everything because all that had to happen there was, the shot went up and everybody on the court did what we did. We watch it from home. We just looked at it. Aaron Gordon was the only one that kept playing. All somebody had to do was give him a partial box out. If you just knock him off his angle just a little, you going into overtime.
Nah, you could have blown him. You could have went like this. and it and it would not work. Damn boxing out. But you know, that's why you play until the buzzer sounds off. Because when I seen it in real time, I said, no way he got that off in time. It's
Yeah.
going into overtime. And they showed that replay. And it's funny, my barber, shout out to Shannon, he a Clippers fan too.
Uh-huh.
So we all, you know, it was like, damn, but like his grab that ball, man, it was I've never seen anything that close before.
Bro, that was wild. I don't think the referees even knew how to call that. So what was funny is I actually, you know, I'm sure the 2 minute report go come out or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually feel like he might have not got it off. Like, because his fingertips, the ball is in the rim for sure, but his fingertips is still on it. But you know, you remember that play? It's a famous like highlight, and it happened to Malik Monk this year too. But LeBron dunked it. He was on a fast break and he dunked it, and the ball went through the net but hit his head and bounced out. It went out. And then they said the rule is it's not an actual basket until it breaks through the net. So if it never breaks through the net, it's not a basket. And his fingertips look like they're in the net and on the ball at the same time.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that technically not be a basket?
I don't know, man. It was too close, and I think
yeah,
they called it as a basket.
Basket.
So when you review it, it has to be undeniable evidence that it was not a basket.
Right.
And it was so close, it wasn't undeniable. So they had to give it to him. But I'm not mad. If I was a Clipper fan, I'd be mad. But shout out to the Nuggets and Aaron Gordon for tying up the series. What I do want to talk about is Jokic. What was that play he did? He threw up. He like ran to the 3-point line and just threw it up. I'm like, bro, you got a way better bag than that. You could have done you could have got a way better shot off than that, but it worked at the end of the day. So hey.
No, that's like we said about Kawhi earlier or whatever. Like that was uncharacteristic for Jokic too to, you know, take a shot like that. I'm only thing I'm assuming is you're on the road. You're it's like, man, I don't want to go into overtime, even though he could have made, you know, a 2 takes, it's a win. But I think he just, you know, maybe tired. He had a monster game. He was like, man, I'm just trying to get a shot up or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. But I thought it was really dope how Kawhi took on the task of guarding Jokic down the stretch in the fourth.
Yeah.
And that showed, you know, he's still, you know, probably arguably the best 2-way player in the game.
Mm-hmm.
When he's healthy. I would say that injuries and stuff. But no, that was amazing to see. Like, you know, Joker, the best player in the world, and undersized Kawhi Leonard going toe to toe with him, you know, to the best of his ability on the defensive end. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was impressive. That was impressive. Good basketball today from the Western Conference. This game is going to the wire. Clippers, Denver going to the wire. I'm gonna call it now. I think the series, if the Warriors win, right, this series and that Clippers series, both going 7 games.
You hold on. Say that one more time. My bad. I was looking at something. Say that one more time.
No, I was just saying it's really good basketball coming out the Western Conference. And I think this series, if the Warriors win this game, this series and the Clippers Nuggets series is going 7 games.
So, yeah, I can see that.
And it's, you know, I don't think you see a lot of you don't see multiple first round matchups going 7 games.
Mm-hmm. Hey, one first round matchup we know ain't going 7 games because it's over. Is the Memphis Grizzlies OKC series, man. Memphis fought hard with no Ja Morant.
Yeah.
But yeah, OKC, they took care of business. That was Doug Christie called it this year when they won games that you just gotta win. It was just a business win. And that was a business series for the Thunder.
Got you. I like that.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, man, I couldn't wait to use that. I was like, yeah, this is a business win right here. But this was a business series, and OKC is resting and waiting to see who they gonna get next, and that's not good for their next opponent because they're gonna come out of a tough series.
Out of a fight, a dog fight. Yeah, shout out to OKC. Really feel for Ja because it definitely would have been a sweep. Probably would have been a gentleman sweep,
Right.
or maybe even six, just based off the way them guys played today. Did Dylan Brooks foul out?
Yeah, he just fouled out. Yep.
That fool had 4 fouls. He had 4 fouls with like 4 minutes left in the second quarter. I'm like, bro, how do you even? Ime Udoka should have been took you out. So now you got 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a big L right there.
Yeah. Okay, Gary Payton.
GP. GP2. There go GP.
I met Gary Payton in a barbershop
His-
back
his-
in like 2017.
Who is that or him?
No, OG Gary Payton.
Oh yeah. He hilarious.
Yeah, he is. It was a good celebrity to meet. In LA, you see celebrities every now and then. I don't really stop folks to take pictures, but I took a picture with Gary Payton.
Oh man, yeah. Now I think about it, I regret not taking a picture with him. I had a kind of a legendary night with Gary Payton in Atlanta at TNT. First thing he said to me when he met me, he was talking to me, but he wasn't talking to me because you go to TNT, right? And at their studio, it's like I don't even remember where it is, but it's this like giant like place or whatever, and you go in and you could just order whatever kind of food you want, off the computer, and they'll have it delivered, and it, they take care of everything. So me, I'm go, do the most or whatever. I'm out there, I'm hungry, I'm broke. And so it's like anything, I'm looking up all the soul food spots and stuff. I'm like, and there's like you could just pick whatever. You could pick, 5-6 different places. And he walks in and he sees me at the computer ordering food. He was like, hey, he loud. He's like, hey, bro, hey, whatever you get, give me that in a bucket of chicken. I don't care where it's coming. Just give me some fried chicken. And walks off. And so I got the fried chicken for him.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know if he's serious or not, but I'm like, cool, whatever, boom. So the food come. He goes and he's doing a show. I think it was like NBA TV or something. He's doing a show for like an hour or something, and then he comes back, and we eating this stuff or whatever and chopping it up. He was super cool, just like you would imagine. And then he was like, come with me. He was like, man, what y'all doing after this? And I'm like, shoot, like I said, I probably got like $20 to my name at this point. He's like, yeah, let's go out, man. Come out with me and my wife. We go out and get some food and stuff, some drinks, and we hang out, whatever. And I'm like, all right, sure. So I go, and I go late on purpose because I'm like I said, I'm broke, and I know I could probably only afford like one drink. So I get there or whatever. We have drinks, and I order a drink, and then he's like, let's get another round. Let's get a couple of shots or whatever. And now I'm like, all right, I know I'm above my budget, but I'm hoping. I'm like, maybe he gonna pay for it or whatever, whatnot. But I'm sweating at the same time, and I think everybody thought I was sweating because they thought I was drunk, but I was sweating.
Nervous.
Like, when this bill coming, I ain't got the money for it. It's over. And anyways, we sat there, had a couple of drinks or whatever, talk and laugh, asked them all kind of questions about, Jordan and just different things that happened in his career. It was super dope. And then he took care of that bill. And then he put me on this guest list. I ain't gonna say where, but to this place for some really fun nightlife. I'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And we was in Atlanta and had a really good time. He wasn't able to make it, but He took care of everything, so all I had to do was go in there and say, "Yeah, I'm on GP tab," and it was dope. I'll just say that.
Nice. That's what's up, man. Yeah, he when I met him in a barbershop, everybody was listening to him. He like stole the whole room.
Oh yeah,
That's the best way to describe it. But I'm glad to see his son, doing his thing with the Warriors. Hopefully, he has a good career. You know what I'm saying? A long career is what I really mean. He's a good player, but it'll be great for him to have a long career, man. But with OKC, I want to ask you something. What do you think is the better matchup for OKC? The Clippers or the Nuggets? Who do you think they prefer to play?
that's a good question because I actually think the Nuggets. I think if I was them, I would rather play the Nuggets over the Clippers because the Clippers, although they don't have the Joker or whatever, but they got you know like we already talked about how great Kawhi is in the playoffs. They have James Harden who be a walking triple double at any moment or whatever.
Yeah.
Guys like Zubac is so underrated, and Zubac can be not the Joker, but I just mean in size and how he can dominate the paint,
Mm.
whatever. He can give you things that the Joker would give you. You look at Denver. I don't think you can even duplicate the different things that the Clippers. You can't duplicate Kawhi. You can't duplicate
No.
James Harden. Not even
No.
Powell. It has to be like Joker and Jamal Murray would have to go crazy against OKC, which they can. They can, but I'd rather go against those odds than the Clippers if I have a choice.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Who you think?
Excuse me, man. I don't know. It's tough, man, because both teams are very good.
Yeah,
Both teams got mad playoff experience. Both teams have two to three great players doing their thing. So I really don't know.
it's gonna be tough.
Um, yeah, I would say the favorable matchup might be the Clippers.
Hmm.
I'll say let me backtrack. I don't think there's a favorable matchup.
Right, right.
I'll leave it at that. But either way, it's gonna be good basketball. It's gonna be a good series. And I'm excited to watch that, man.
Hmm.
Um, and I wouldn't mind seeing Kawhi get out the first round. Just because it's been so long since we've seen him play. Have a deeper run in the playoffs. So I,
Right.
I wouldn't mind seeing him continue, and maybe if the Nuggets get eliminated in the first round, maybe Jokic will come to LA. Maybe it comes to the Lakers.
Hmm. Udoka doing a challenge. I don't know.
I think I missed it. Are you ahead of me or?
Uh, I'm at a commercial now,
Yeah, me too.
but they reviewing that foul that I'm in Thompson committed,
Okay. Okay.
and
Since we're on a commercial break, what you think about the draft? The draft's over.
man, Shador got picked up.
Yeah, he did. Because I remember yesterday or last night we were discussing the possibility of him not getting drafted at all.
Right, right. And man, I think like for him to go, what is it, fifth round or whatever, and for him to go there, like we all know this wasn't just about football.
No.
It's just about what he did on the field. It's probably more about the things that happened off the field with Dion being his dad, the confidence that he displayed in himself. Obviously we seeing all the clips pop up now of him saying, if you ain't trying to change your franchise and all this, don't draft me or whatever. And hindsight, maybe some things shouldn't have been said, but at the end of the day, if it's all about football, which professional sports is never fully about the actual game.
Unfortunately.
And understanding that, you got to play the game. You got to play the game, on the field, on the court, and off. And
Yeah.
I think they just, like, if I'm just summing it all up, I think they just played their cards wrong. But it's because it's no way he should have went drafted 5th round.
I mean, maybe he did play his cards wrong, but at the end of the day, that's the way they've been playing the cards the entire time. And look what it's gotten them,
Why
right?
change?
Success.
Why change?
So for me, if I'm looking at a Shedeur Sanders, I see what he did with Jackson State, turn that around. I see what he did in Colorado, worst team in the nation, literally.
Yeah.
Worst team in the nation, right? Turn them around. And not just them, but the whole city of Boulder, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I would want, if I'm the Browns or the Raiders, one of these franchises that's in the dumpster. I know that. Shout out to the Raider fans out here. Dalen gonna be mad, but it's like, yeah, come change the way we come change the culture, or at least play a
Yeah. No,
role in changing that culture
yeah. No. You.
because we haven't been very successful.
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right. Like, that's why it's like, this had nothing to do with football, because one of those teams should have picked him up. It was teams that needed. Why did he? Oh, I'm like, why did he shoot that? It was teams that needed or could use a quarterback, and
Yeah, yeah,
I think he's the greatest or the best quarterback in the draft or whatever. He's definitely talented enough to where you give him you could give him a shot, what you can actually get out of him.
yeah. Nah,
Oh
I really wanted to see him in a Steelers uniform, man.
yeah,
It's a good franchise. They've been in quarterback limbo ever since Big Ben retired. I just think it would have been a good look for him to team up with Mike Tomlin. But the crazy thing is they passed up. It was teams that needed a quarterback 4 times.
yeah.
And then the Browns, they
That's
got
ball game.
they drafted 2 quarterbacks. Oh, that's a game.
Yeah, that's ball game.
That's a game.
Please.
You want to say hi? You want to say hi?
What's up, man?
I got both the boys right here. There's a big boy. You can see the little one.
You want
Right.
Mary? What's up, man?
All right, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Say hi. Hello. All right, that's enough. Go to bed. It's bedtime. We a little behind tonight. Um, but yeah, man, I'm just happy he finally got drafted. But the Browns have 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's insane, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. That's like, and then it's a tweet circulating or whatever from Dion. I think it was a couple years ago, and he was like, I love what the Browns been doing on the off season, but I might have to be like Archie Manning on if they tried to draft my son. I wouldn't let him play there. And then boom, that's where he go. That's this. Man, like I think we're all fans of Dion, and I don't know too many people that ain't fans of them. I was looking at how day one. So day one of the draft, they had obviously like a whole like big draft party.
Yeah.
They rented out a place or whatever. You don't get drafted. They still had to just rock it out and party. The second day turned into a more traditional player waiting to get drafted. Look like they was at home, maybe in the backyard, cookout.
Yeah.
And then the prank call thing happens, and you don't get drafted the second day. And then the next day, like where he actually gets drafted, it was like, everybody had to go home at that point. It was just like family members that lived there or whatever.
Yeah.
And it sucks seeing the progression of, like, from being a first round pick to a second round pick to a fifth round pick or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to Tory Horton from Fresno. Got drafted in, I think, that same round, and you got to see them and the Wares and the Sears. He a part of that family.
Oh yeah, that's Jeannie little brother.
Little brother, yeah, he got, and you got to see, like, the genuine happiness and joy and love that they got to experience with, getting that call. And I feel like that wasn't, well, I know that wasn't the plan for Shedeur, and his family. So that has to sting a lot. But hopefully, he finds his way through, the NFL, just like he did through college, and, make a name for himself. Because I hope he can prove some doubters wrong, and go be great.
I think he will, man. It's in his DNA. We seen it. We seen it on the field, and I knew he was special. I knew he was always good, but I knew he was special when last year I forgot who they were playing. I want to say it was Baylor. It was only a few seconds left in the game. He throws a Hail Mary, hit the receiver in the chest, dropped the ball, and then they had like literally 1 or 2 seconds left on the clock. Did another play, did another Hail Mary, and the receiver caught it. And I'm like, damn, Shedeur Sanders just did 2 prayers in a row. And I was just like, that's because he's special.
Oh,
Who Jalen Green fighting?
yeah, Jalen.
Yeah.
Draymond.
Jalen and Draymond always messing with somebody.
Green versus Green.
Man, all this green on green violence. Come on, y'all. Represent the community better. Oh, he hot.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm about to do some digging and figure out what was said right there.
Yeah, I got my TV on mute.
Somebody car getting stole.
Damn.
Raymond Ritter back there. That's the Warriors PR. Shout out to Raymond Ritter. That's in the business.
Nice.
Nah, man.
Steph Curry with the 36 points.
Steph, man, this series, this game, I'll say this specifically. I knew they would come out, swinging. I know they believe. That's the problem. That's the reason, like, Houston needed this win. Is the Warriors believe they can win a championship with the Warriors believe they can win a championship if Jimmy and everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
So this game right here, they're like, nah, we gotta go. We gotta get this series. If we win enough till Jimmy, once his butt heals, we got a chance. So but if you lose this game, that can change everything. So the Steph and Draymond leading the way and handling business.
CP talking about Van Fleet had 17, like I said, but it's like you also said Houston was gonna win the game.
Yeah, didn't he say they was gonna win if he scored 15 or more?
He said I don't know if he said they were gonna win. He said Jalen Green didn't get 30, like I said. I'm not gonna say the rest of what he said after.
Yeah, he just said he's not ready.
yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, he said they was winning by 17 or something crazy.
All right, so Denver Clippers tied Minnesota's up 2-1 on the Lakers. Golden State is up 2-1 on Houston.
Wow. 6 and the 7 seed advance to the second round, 6 and 7.
It could happen.
That'd be crazy.
It's the Wild Wild West, man. But honestly, man, the Lakers we gonna bounce back tomorrow because I think number one, Luca was sick, had the flu. I don't know. Somebody in Minnesota poisoned his food, his pizza. They give him that Michael Jordan pizza.
Blue game.
Right? And then their fourth or fifth player on the team scored 30 points.
Yeah.
And we only lost by 6 or 7. So that's not happening again. And it was at home, their first game, playoff game at home. So I think I think Luka gonna have a regular Luka game, like have a good game like he did in 1 and 2. You're right. And if LeBron and Austin Reeves continue to do what they've been doing all season, we should get the dub and tie the series up. And then game five is going to decide who wins the series, in my opinion. And I'm gonna be at game 5.
Oh yeah, huh? You
That's
going?
the plan. I haven't bought. Me and Patrice gonna look at tickets tonight.
Yeah.
Be my first playoff game in any sport.
Man, that'd be crazy. That'd be dope. Yeah, hopefully you do it. You gotta go live from there too.
I might, because I wanted to do it's a birthday present to myself, but game 7 is on my birthday, but I was like, oh, we gonna win in 5.
Right.
Now we might actually go to 7, it look like. So I'm like, do I want to wait? And I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna go to game 5 and call it a night.
Play it safe.
Yeah.
Man, that's gonna be crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of that game, what happens? Do you still think the Lakers have a chance if they lose tomorrow?
Down 3-1?
Down 3-1.
They would still have a chance. I believe they still have a chance. I mean, at the end of the day, they got LeBron and they got Luka, man. I mean, LeBron's faced adversity, you know.
Yep.
Luka can go off for 35, 45, 50 points any given game. The man scored 70 one time, right? So I think that they can come back. I think they're a better team. I think they can come back down 3-1 because they're the better team. Now, do I want to see them go down 3-1? No, because the odds of them coming back are slim. But if any team can do it, it's them.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that. Like, I think tomorrow's a must-win. I don't know if Father Time is going to allow LeBron to put out enough energy to come back from 3-1. But
I hear you.
But if, like you said, if anybody can do it, it'll be them. But if the Lakers don't get out the first round, if the Lakers take an exit, if the Lakers lose in 5 or something like that, that would be a major disappointment. That would be as a Laker fan, how do you feel about that?
I'll be highly disappointed. Highly disappointed. You know, when the Luka trade happened, my immediate thought of course was this isn't real. But my second thought was, okay, this is about the future. This trade ain't about winning this season. It's about having one of the best players in the league for the next 10, 12 seasons. So, you know, I wouldn't call it a bust just because Luka came in the middle of the season. But anytime you have Luka and LeBron on the same team, it's unacceptable to lose in the first round. It's unacceptable.
That's
period.
That's
right. As long as they healthy, it's unacceptable. So, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to pull it off. And I've been saying this too. I think we'll be better next season because we'll get other pieces that we don't have right now. Like, you know, we did the trade with Charlotte to get the big, didn't work out, but we can do that in the offseason. Also, we need to get a 3-and-D guy. So we get those pieces around Luka, and then Bron doesn't have a dip off when he turns 41, I think we will be back even better and stronger next season. But I still believe we can get out the West for sure.
Alex is calling cap on you right now. He said that's not consistent with talk all season.
That's not consistent with the talk all season.
Yeah. Laker fans have been saying championship since Luka. He said that's the issue that people have with Lakers, with Laker fans.
Well, guess what? We don't care because we win, and y'all don't. I don't know who your team is, but they not as good as the Lakers as a franchise. They're the best franchise. All right. I want to hear the Celtics either. Oh, we got the most. Man, my mama wasn't alive when the Celtics got majority of them championships. Right? Since the 80s, they've only won 4 since the 80s. We've won like 10, 11 since the 80s. So it's like, come on. All this hate from the man, I want to hear it. He probably a Indiana Pacers fan or who else sucks really bad historically? A Portland Trailblazer fan or something. We don't want to hear that.
Dang, he a Trailblazer?
I just made that up. I'm just like, who doesn't win? You know?
I think Alex is a Warriors fan because I see a comment where he said Warriors next round with the fire emoji. So I'm thinking,
he a 2019 Warrior fan. He ain't,
I'm saying,
ain't no real Warrior fan. He ain't no Mitch Richmond fan. He ain't
Chris
no
Mullin.
Tim Hardaway, no Mullen. Get out of here, man. All these new Warrior fans kill me.
Bro, I've lived in California my entire life. I never met a Warriors fan.
Never.
Until Steph Curry and them. Never.
You know, I knew one. Shout out David Lozano. David was a Warrior fan. Like, I remember when the Warriors was like bad, and they was giving out free tickets, and he was.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was like, man, I was like, it's tough, but you know, he a real one. Warrior fan said playoffs, same.
I'll be honest, man. With them Lakers, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about this Laker Warriors series. I mean, not Warriors, Wolves series. I am.
Oh, I'm gonna say, hold on.
Hold your horses. We ain't there yet.
Oh, okay, my bad. I heard a little bit of something. I was like, let me jump in, but yeah. So what we talking about? We talking about this Warriors?
Yeah, I was reading some comments that
we was talking about the Timberwolves Lakers series.
Yeah.
Okay.
But somebody in the comments was calling me out about not being consistent as a Laker fan. I don't want to hear that.
Man,
I don't want to hear nothing from nobody.
Is there a such thing as a consistent fan? No. Every fan, that's why they fanatics, man. We all delusional at points, man. You ain't a fan if you ain't delusional at some point. In the beginning, like I'm a Raider fan.
Yeah.
Raiders and Cowboys think we're gonna win the Super Bowl week 1 every year. Week 3, 4, sometimes, well, for the Raiders at least, we start to realize, all right, man, these Super Bowl dreams is over with. Let's get a wild card. You know, the reality hit. So, man, get out of here.
So, Dalen, man, what if the Lakers don't make it out the first round? Would this make the season a bust?
As a Laker fan, it's always a bust if we don't win a championship. That's me. It's just me. But truthfully speaking, no, it don't. Because as much as we want to say, you know, with this Luka trade, it's some championship aspiration, and we can do it. And how many teams actually done that? Made a big splash trade like that with big time players like that, and came out and won a championship that same year.
Yeah, that's a good point. But we got one team that's trying to do it this year, and that's the Golden State Warriors, which you know, things are looking good for them right now.
Man, they ain't about to win no championship. Get out of here. The Warriors is gonna be here. They go at the end of the day, we all gonna be at the same Cancun resort. They ain't gonna make no difference. I don't want to hear none of that. But I mean, but yeah, it is. I mean, but then this will be a situation where this is a big splash like that for either team winning the championship. I think this will be like, I don't know for sure, but I think it'll be like a first.
Yeah. So I can't really think of
Either way.
who's done it.
I can
Maybe.
think of one team that's done it, but they weren't as good. It wasn't as a big as of a pickup as Luca, but
Yeah.
Detroit did it
Which one? What was up with
when they got I believe they got Rasheed Wallace in the middle of the
the
season
okay with
Mid season.
when they beat us in '04.
yeah, and with the Lakers?
Yeah, I still
I
have
think.
nightmares about that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you will remember.
Yeah, for sure. That was devastating. Nobody
Yeah, bro.
thought Detroit was gonna beat Lakers in that series. Nobody. I know I didn't. I knew for sure
No,
gonna win this 4-1. I mean, I thought we was gonna sweep them. Then when we lost, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a tough series. But
Yeah, I remember that too. I thought that was gonna be a easy, chip for the Lakers, and it ended up being opposite, obviously, or whatever. But I think, do y'all
that
think that would have, because even then it wasn't as prevalent as now, but how offensive minded the game is throughout the whole league. If you have a team, that can play defense, is defense dead? Is it dead? Is it gone, or is it gonna come back?
it's here right now. We see it. You're not seeing 130-point games. You ain't seeing. I mean, outside of your Memphis, defense is here. Is gonna always be here. I mean, that saying is for real. Defense win championships. Offense sell tickets. And throughout the season, you see these scores is like crazy: 130, 140, 150. You see these insane scores. The moment playoffs start, what we seeing? 93,
Yeah,
95, 96. So defense ain't dead. I just think it's a time and a place for it.
that's true.
yeah, I agree. I agree with all that.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, and it's because I was looking at this game, and if you look at this game, what the start of the fourth quarter, what was the score? Like 62, 63, close to even. They
Yeah,
was at 60 points in the beginning of the fourth quarter.
right. During the season,
Yeah,
teams score 60 at the half.
right, right. So defense ramp up. I mean, and when you get a solid defensive team, all they skills is on display. So I mean, defense is it's gonna always be here. I don't think we're gonna always see it. Um,
Right,
still when it matters.
Yeah.
right. Did you get to see that the ending to the Denver Nuggets and Clippers game?
I did. My son was actually playing right during that time, so I didn't get to see it.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
It
it
was
literally was won in the last second, and like I can't even say it in a way that would explain how close the game was to go into overtime. It's like when you see the highlight, it's crazy.
so.
It's I've never seen anything like it.
Was it close like that Lakers San Antonio? Was that 2000 0.4?
The deep,
Closer.
yeah,
No way.
yeah, because it's Joker he shoots a wild fadeaway, falling to the sideline 3-pointer,
Uh-huh.
air balls, and it's a last second shot. But he air balls it right into a Aaron Gordon alley oop.
Wow.
He dunks it.
He dunks it.
The light cuts on, and it's like the ball is on his fingertips or off of his fingertips. And they had to review it at the end of the game, and they,
Too close to call it,
yeah,
so
yeah, it is game over. But it was that close, and all
Yeah.
was one little box out, and it wouldn't have happened.
wow. Yeah, that's where those fundamentals and those skills come into play. The smallest things that your coaches yell at you about, boxing out, rebounding. That's when those things come into play. Lord have mercy. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Nobody boxed out because they didn't think it was gonna be any time to do anything.
Right.
And Aaron Gordon, in my opinion, best All-Star game dunk contest dunker. He got hops. He went up there and he grabbed it, and then when it's paused, you look. It was so close you can't tell.
You can't even describe it.
Yeah.
That's how close it was. Like when I seen it in real time, I said, "Nah, he didn't get that off in time." But they called it in. So when they reviewed it, if you don't got undeniable evidence that he didn't make it, you gotta keep the call the way it is.
Right.
But it was like zero. It was less than 0.1 seconds.
Yeah. Hey, what you said in order to send that game into overtime? What all the Clippers had to do?
Oh, all they had to do was blow on him like that. He's like, oh, they should have boxed out. I'm like, nah, it wasn't even like that. Just blow a little wind on him. It was that close.
That's all it took.
Just a little.
Look, bro.
Gave him that Lance Stephenson, that little Lance Stephenson. In the
Exactly. give him the Lance Stephenson special. Overtime.
Wow, that's crazy.
And on top of that, the Clippers were down by like 20 points and came back and tied it.
So let me ask you this. So with a game like that, how do you see this series shifting? Do you see it, the momentum shift to Denver? Because that's a heartbreaking loss. You lose like that. Sometimes it can be for the worst. It's like it's taking your soul from you.
Nah, I think this was a season-changing moment. Like the Clippers fought hard to get back. Kawhi went crazy in the fourth quarter, and like they was down 20 or whatnot. They went on like a 30-9 run or 30-11 or something like that. They went on a crazy run to get there, and to lose like that. Obviously, the series is tied up, but I think the momentum has definitely shifted to Denver going back. So that's the other thing.
Yeah, man. That play might have decided the series. You're gonna look back at that play.
Yep.
Yeah, because that is one of those ones. Like if I would have just did this, if I would have just boxed out, or if I would have just gotten this way,
or blew
and blow on it, right?
That's it. Yeah, that's it,
man.
Man, even your boy DeAndre Jordan scratched the board, huh? Lord have mercy. Man. I'm over here looking at the stats. I ain't seen him in the game in about 2 years.
You only see him when Jokic is hurt.
That's probably why he on the team. That's if Jokic slow him down a little bit, which he didn't do none of it. Because 36 and 21, Lord have mercy.
Crazy. Almost a triple-double.
Man. Yeah, Jokic is something else, man.
He is. We haven't seen anything like him before.
Is he top 5 center all time?
Yeah. Right now, yeah, because he got the championships to back it up.
And the MVPs.
And he got the MVPs to back it up. I like he said, we haven't seen nothing like this. In Jokic. The skill set is, I would love to see how this skill set stands against that more physical era of centers. Because right now, centers ain't what centers was during that time.
Right.
Them 90s, them 80s, 90s, 2000 centers, man, they was brutal.
Yeah.
And as much as offense that he can put on the opponent, the defender, he got to go back and defend that too.
Yeah.
But you always see that can wear on a center. I don't care who you is, how good you is. You get Shaq 340, 350, 360 athletic leaning on you all game. Do those numbers still stand? You know what I mean? Do those flashy moments still stand? Playing against a center like that, because you got to go on the other end and defend. So
yeah.
And that's that era of centers. I would have loved to see what he can do, because I don't think Jokic is second tier to none of them centers, me personally.
Yeah, I think he would have been good. I don't think he would have been dominant. But I think he would have been good. I think he still would have been a good player because, like you said, Shaq will wear you out. Even in the bubble, I feel like JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard gave him problems. They didn't stop him. They didn't shut him down.
Right.
But I felt like we were missing that when we played them in the Western Conference Finals. I'm like, damn, we had Dwight or JaVale McGee. This isn't a sweep.
Nope.
It would have been a competitive series.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not ready to put him in the top 5. I definitely think he top 10. But it's all about eras because there's some players, that played in the 80s and 90s that would not be good today.
Right now, yeah.
Like what's old boys play for the Knicks? Is it Mason?
Anthony Mason?
Or like a Charles Oakley? No disrespect. I don't think they would do well in this NBA.
Nah.
So it's all about the eras to me, and then for this era, he the best for this era, hands down, not even close. Like he the best since Dwight Howard.
Yeah, because the thing with Joker, like you said about the eras, would he have been able to even become the Joker in the early 2000s or the 90s or whatever? I mean, people forget, he's a second round pick. So it wasn't like he came into the league and he was going to get these opportunities. He took this. But I don't know if you even get the chance to, play the style that he does.
Right.
He can shoot the 3. He can dribble. He can pass. Big man wasn't able to do that. Like, Shaq was getting it off a rebound and just going or whatever. But it feels just like, we walking it up. Shaq would never get the opportunity to just, walk the ball up. So if you're just making him be a back to the basket guy, like I said, I think he'll be good. I have to really think about who would be in my top 5, but with the accolades and just his talent, I'm saying yes, he's in the top 5. And then, yeah, maybe that is premature, but I'll say that.
And
it's not crazy.
I don't think it is at all. Me neither. And I don't think it's crazy because when you really think about from our era, what centers was really dominant? By the Shaq.
Yeah, and Shaq was probably the only one we would consider
dominant. Right.
Because you have Hakeem Olajuwon, but he was in our prime. He was in his latter years or whatever.
Yeah.
Still good, but he was mid-range, dream shape. And like that was something. Like seeing him shoot the mid range the way he was, that was something. But because then like you would say like if he played in today's league, how good would Hakeem have been if he stretched that mid range jump shot to the 3-point line?
I think his skill set would translate right now.
Right.
Yeah, that skill set because I mean as skilled as he is and as less physical as this era is, he probably would have been able to do more.
Right.
I think at his skill set at the most would have been able to do more. You know what I mean? Because he can step out, he can put the ball on the floor. You know what I mean? He got the feet work. You got guards going to get feet work tips from him.
Yeah.
So I think that skill set translates, which it takes me to looking at Jokic. Then I think that skill set, I think it would have translated, and I think he would have been able to adapt. That's the biggest thing. Would he been able to adapt to that culture of basketball?
Right.
And if you would have had and if there was a coach that would have been able to foresee his skill set,
right,
and be bold enough to allow him to be him. Right. It like you said, a lot of dominoes would have to fall into place for that to happen.
Right.
Me personally, I can't think of 5 centers from our era that's better than Jokic.
Yeah.
I got 3. Like I look at Shaq, Kareem. I like Olajuwon.
I'll put David Robinson in there. He was a beast. They don't talk about him the way they should. But like, what what would Joker do against him? You know, like he was physical, good,
Long,
strong.
strong,
So I'll
athletic.
put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was good?
Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, Patrick.
But no, I think when we talk about the Joker, I think the center that probably is most comparable to him is like Olajuwon offensively or whatever, because they have so many, tools. I think Olajuwon could be the Joker in today's game, but he also would have been a better defender because Olajuwon led the league in steals and blocks and as a center. You know what I mean? One defensive player of the year. I think him and Jordan the only one to ever win MVP and defensive player of the year in the same year. Even though Bron should have got one, but he got robbed by Mark Gasol. But that's another story. But I think like when I look at their skill set offensively, I think Olajuwon is the one who can do everything the Joker can do and some more. So
Right.
I know for a fact right now, I still got Olajuwon over the Joker.
Yeah. Because I
But
think they both got what? They both got two, don't they?
yeah,
Two NBA championships? Or do Joker only got one?
oh, he got
You
one.
got one.
Joker got one. Oh yeah. So I at that point I'll still take Olajuwon over Joker right now. But man, unless Joker decide to say in 4 years I'm done, I mean he got a lot left, and hopefully he'll do some of that in that purple and gold.
Yo, yo,
Yeah, he got the opportunity. You know, if he has the longevity to put up numbers like Braun, all time numbers like Braun. Think about the assists, the rebounds, and the points. Like with the if he has longevity, he might be able to retire top 10 in all three of those joints.
yeah, it'll be LeBron, Joker, and everything, like all across the board.
Mm-hmm.
But
So if that's the case, and he retires like that, yeah, you damn top five. You like, is he the best? And he got 3 MVPs. He might get a fourth this year. They probably give it to SGA, but he got 3 MVPs to go along with that. A lot of people can't say that.
Right.
yeah, let me ask y'all this before we get up out of here, man. Championships, because we mentioned it multiple times, and it is the playoffs. But when we talk about greatest players ever, we bring in championships or whatever, and if you have one or two that can make the difference in who we say is the best or better or whatever, whatnot, are championships overrated in the sense of if you have one or two, if the player that has two is better than the one that has one.
Mm-hmm. I
Is
don't
it?
think overrated, and the reason I say that because when when it mattered the most, which star stood out the most?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it. When it mattered the most, because that's truthfully, I think that's where you start separating great and good, or all time greats and great, or superstars and stars.
Mm-hmm.
When it's time to be great, are you great? And that falls in that category. Who brings the most championships in? Yeah, if you got one, but we both been great at the same time, but I got two. Regardless of your individual accolades, I'm gonna take that person that got two because when it mattered the most, you shine the most. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's tough, and I think, I mean, I'm not old enough to know. That's what I'm saying. I think the emphasis on the amount of rings really started with Jordan when he went 6 for 6 and had two. And it's not that he got 6 winnings; it's the way he got them, right? 2 3-peats.
Yeah.
So I think that changed the conversation and the standard. But I think it was Gilbert Arenas, um, on his podcast. I think he said something along the lines of they were already calling Jordan the greatest of all time before he won the 6. Like people were saying that he was the greatest player they ever seen when Magic and Bird still had more rings than he did.
Right.
So I think for me it's for some people they might overuse it, but for me it's you got to combine everything: the rings, your stats, longevity, impact, the eye test. You got to all of those. I use all of those to figure out who I feel is the best or who's better or not.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Because I get what you saying, Mace. With it's who gets the job done. But there's guys like Barkley out there, and that didn't win a championship, but he was clearly better than
for sure
Chris Bosh. I'm taking Barkley over Chris Bosh any day. And Chris, the champion, Chris Bosh is a Hall of Famer or whatever.
Right.
He came a year or two ago, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's in the Hall of Fame now. Yeah,
he's a Hall of Famer, but I'm taking Charles Barkley any and every day. But I think when it comes to like the legendary status, I feel like championships really are only. I feel like that. All right, I said that. I feel like they're valid when it comes to who's the GOAT. When it comes to LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, Russell. When you get into that conversation of the tier ones of NBA history, because end of the day, like you may say Kobe to go, you may say Jordan, I may say LeBron or whatever. They're all
right there.
They're all here. These are all GOATs, and it takes all that little bit of he went to the championship. Jordan won 6 and 6. It takes all that to kind of figure it out, and it's still a debate because it's still unclear. But I think championships are overrated in the sense of like for other people. If you ain't in that status, I don't.
Yeah.
1 and 2 and 3 championships don't mean nothing to me. Because Chauncey Billups got a championship.
Yeah, true.
I could name a good chunk of point guards who I think was better than him, but he got a chip.
Right, and that is just like looking at Robert Horry. Robert Horry got what? 7?
7.
Yeah.
7? You ain't you ain't gonna take Robert Horry over Tim Duncan?
Never. Yeah.
Never. Right. But I look. The only reason I said is because I look at that more of like a conversation for that, like you say, that tier 1.
Yeah.
You have to find something to separate them.
Yeah.
Because it's so close, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
You got LeBron with 4, but he got all the stats.
Right.
You got Kobe with 5, but he won shorter than Jordan. You got Jordan who got 6, but he got 2, 3 peats and the teams he went through. So it's so close to kind of separate those greats.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
These are some of the things that you could only separate them from or with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you said, it's valid for a certain portion of players, but for, like you say, those bottom players, hey man, you ain't even in a room yet. Just sit over there, young man. You know what I mean? You was a role player of a great team, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like Big Shot Bob, hey, he did what he was supposed to do with the Lakers. Lakers, Rockets, the Spurs.
Everywhere he went,
he was effective. But you ain't taking Tim Duncan.
They don't call him Big Shot Rob for no reason, man.
Exactly.
yeah.
You know, put me in the last minute.
Sacramento fans still hate him.
Man, that's my favorite Laker playoff buzzer beater.
Oh my god,
I like that one more than the Derek Fisher one.
No,
that's my favorite one.
Easy.
Because I wanted the Kings to win. I liked Bobby Jackson and Bibby back then.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted the Kings to win, and then obviously I'm going to school with Dalen, and got hear him be
all day
out Lakers this and Lakers that, and I'm like, Kings about to win. They about to finally knock these dudes out, And then that shot, man, oh my God. Like that
it's
was
Vlade Divac's fault. All he had to do was just grab the rebound and hold it.
He
He
wanted
wanted to
to
play volleyball.
Vlade has done some damage to this organization.
He
That
grabbed Luka. Nah.
and Luka should be the back.
Is that a whole take conversation?
Oh man, as great as Vlade has been, he's probably been equally damaging. Oh man, but that's another conversation. But
that's crazy.
I'm gonna let y'all get to y'all families, man. We gonna end this live and try to jump on tomorrow or the next day. You know, but this is the closers again. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that. And I should have said that at the beginning of the show because I don't know who's watching right now.
Well, the ones who they got it.
We are out of here, and this is the closers.
Peace.